Hey guys, it's your girl A, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to WandaVision. We're now on to episode 6. We are now getting on to the back half of the season, and honestly, I'm not sure how they plan on ending this season. I don't know how many seasons they plan to do of this, if this is the only one, if it's going to roll into another series. Literally, the possibilities are endless, so I don't know. I honestly can't predict where we think we're going to end this. Like, I don't even know that if this illusion of Westview is going to be broken by the end of the season, to be perfectly honest. But that is a possibility, because in the last episode, we had some pretty good character movement happen for the first time in the series. We had Vision finally confront Wanda because he is now hip to how her powers are being used in Westview. But he doesn't believe, much like kind of what I am predicting, he doesn't believe that Wanda is 100% behind it, in the sense of that she's doing this all of her own volition. We saw him confront her and get a little emotional. You know, I kind of like that. You know, when calm people who are usually calm and reserved kind of lose it, like righteously lose it. I don't know why. I just find that stuff tantalizing. And it looked like Vision was getting through to her, but then we saw that potentially the silent partner in all of this, or the puppet master, whoever, interrupted the moment by sending in something that I think they believe is the trump card for keeping Wanda under control, which was Pietro, or at least a version of Pietro, which was Evan Peters' version, a la the Fox MCU version of Quicksilver. So anyway, we're going to get into this episode because I have chatted enough, but I just want to say two things. One is that I know a lot of people put a lot of really helpful information in the comments, and I super appreciate that, guys. Please keep doing that. But I just want to also mention that I catch a lot of stuff when I'm editing. Like after when I'm doing the editing of the video, I'm like, oh, okay, I see that, or now that makes more sense. Yeah, just know that I do catch some of that stuff in editing, but I still appreciate when you guys point things out and let me know of other theories and ideas that you're having. I really do appreciate all that activity in the comment section, so please keep that going. Your girl loves it. And the second thing that I want to say is, of course, you know the drill. If you've been here before and you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified when I do more reactions to this show, as well as any others you might be interested in. And I've also reacted to some other Marvel shows in the past, which I will link at the end of the video and possibly sometime throughout the video. So if those interest you, please go ahead and join the fam. All right. All that said, without further ado, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. And the kids are narrating.
Halloween's about candy. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not.
This is exactly the way I imagine the Quicksilver would play with his nephews. Okay, we got our traditional costume. Comic costume, sorry, is what I meant to say.
Mom's been weird since Uncle Pietro got here. I think it's because she hasn't seen him in a long time. And he's what you call a man-child.
And dead! There's that!
Thank you for humoring me and wearing this ridiculous getup, honey.
Well, there were no other clothes in my closet, so.
Yeah.
You are incorrigible, darling. I know a secret thing for Mexican wrestlers.
Interesting. I'm trying to figure out if he's trying to play along or resisting playing along, because that felt very snarky.
And the neighborhood watch is the only thing that stands between the trees and the toilet paper.
No, that's not what you're supposed to do.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't tell me you had plans.
Well, I am telling you now.
Wow.
Be good.
Ooh. Oh, I love this.
I smell crime.
I'm loving this layered double entendres going on right now. Let's have this the whole rest of the series. I love it.
You don't even have a costume.
Nice! Right down to the hair. I'm ill. Meanwhile, chaos outside the door.
Hey, there he is. The guy who almost got murdered by his own murder squad.
Right. Good call.
You work for me?
Sure do.
I actually don't know.
She's with me.
Listen, and which one of you is the sassy best friend?
There's no time for you to diminish your colleagues. When you're about to start a war, you can't win.
Max,
That did not just happen!
Captain Rambo, you have become an impediment to this mission. constantly advocating on behalf of superpowered individuals. Yes, I know your history with Carol Danvers. And all you people who left still have the luxury of optimism.
You people.
You have no idea what it was like.
Sir, I'm not liking any of you right now.
Lights on.
Don't use the last 5 years as an excuse to be a coward.
Oh! She said that in front of your face.
Maybe it's a good thing you weren't here when your mother died. Because clearly you don't have the stomach for this job.
Well, I know you didn't go there.
Get her off my base.
He is out of control.
Hayward is way overstepping his provisional authority.
You think?
He's looking for a reason to sideline us. He's up to something.
Yep.
Oh, everybody in.
Hey, woo, in the house. We like him. He can stay. He can definitely stay. Where's his own show?
What was the name of that kid who was always trying to steal your
She's trying to figure out if it's the real Pietro.
Yeah, the skin thing.
You're testing me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Hey, it's cool.
Oh, hey, Herb.
Oh, hey.
How's patrol going?
Herb's box top.
Hold on. Say again?
I thought
Is there something I can do for you, Wanda? Do you want something changed?
Wow. Illusions dropped. I love this. He's trying to find the boundary, aren't you, Vish? You want to know how to get the hell out of here? Oh, I'm sorry, Muffin. They're broken. Oh no, this is so sad. She must be in so much pain. And where did all these children come from? Didn't they just say last episode there are no kids in Westview? Wow, that's cruel. That is so cruel, but... That's so mean. Wow. Because I didn't even think of that. Like, I don't even know if the people in this illusion can eat. Can they sleep?
I'm just trying to do my part, okay? Come to town unexpectedly, create tension with the brother-in-law, stir up trouble with the Rugrats, and ultimately give you grief. I mean, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
what happened to your accent?
What accent?
Yours.
Ooh.
Details are fuzzy, man. I got...
Mom, can we go? Next stop, Cavity Town.
Wait,
Right on, little dude.
why did he speed on his own?
Fuck, you got super speed.
I do?
Yeah.
And please, just remember,
Don't go past Ellis Avenue. We know, Mom, we know.
be careful!
Very interesting. So she knows where the boundary is too. There's so much going on here. Like, how much does Wanda know?
Why is Hayward tracking Vision?
Good
I don't
question.
know. This is all
Oh, that's right.
so far.
He was Sword.
Those are Westview residents.
But maybe they're getting like, maybe they're suffering the most because they can't stay in the illusion. I kept saying there's gotta be limits to Wanda's power. Okay, he wants to see. He's figuring it out. Thank you. Thank you for doing this for us, Vish. Vision is the vision for the viewers.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, you're the cast regular now. There we go.
It's alright.
You're one of the Avengers. You're Vision. Are you here to help us?
I am Vision. I do want to help. It wasn't Avenger.
What?
Oh.
Why don't you know?
Why would you think that?
Because you are
Because I'm one.
Damn.
dead.
Just give it to him like that, huh? No chaser.
Dead!
Okay, ma'am.
All is lost.
Agnes. Agnes, please, calm down.
Okay, Agnes has snapped. I like that symbolism of that she won't even let people think of leaving. Oh, this is so messed up. This is so deep and messed up, y'all. Alice Ave, that's what she told the kids they can't go past. So is he just gonna like fall into a pile of parts if he goes? Because I'm thinking it's Wanda's magic that's keeping him together right now?
Hayward has your blood work. You've gone through the boundary twice already, Monica. The energy inside has rewritten your cells on a molecular level twice.
Here we go.
It's changing you.
Where were you hiding all these kids up till now?
What?
I assume they were all just sleeping peacefully in their beds. No need to traumatize beyond the occasional holiday episode cameo, am I right?
No,
You were always the empathetic twin.
I didn't
Hey, don't give me wrong.
think it's wrong.
Are you kidding? I'm impressed. Seriously. It's a pretty big leap from giving people nightmares and shooting red wiggly woos out of your hands.
Wiggly woos.
How'd you even do all this?
That's what we want to know. How? Why? Why is this happening? Why is this conversation happening? Wow. But
Are you okay?
that version of Pietro didn't die. And does that broadcast through when she sees that? Yeah, sticky. See, this is why you don't use capes.
Oh no.
I was right. Okay, the kids sense it, but Wanda doesn't. I was right, so she's holding him together.
Where's your dad?
Hey, don't sweat it, sis. It's not like your dead husband could die twice.
Wow! Wow! He's already okay. She's expanding it. Oh no! But that's the smartest way to deal with it on short notice. It's gonna stop. Oh no, I thought maybe it would stop just shy of her. Headquarters gone. Wanda's not salty at all. This is dangerous. How far is she gonna push this? And how far can she push it? Ooh, you went like that, y'all. Cold for that. Y'all cold. That escalated quickly. Okay, so this episode, we got some more mining of what's actually going on here, because that is the big question of the season. Like, we know, we have the ideas, like the edges. You know what I mean? We've got the edges of the puzzle filled in. We know that it's Wanda's power that's fueling this. But we still have so many questions around the why. Is she working alone? How is it affecting everybody? Like, what is the scope? What is the limit? Right? These are all the other things that we still don't know about how this whole world is existing. But we got some really good insights into Wanda's thinking for the first time this episode, which I personally really like, because the why is kind of probably be the huge key that, as Monica brought out earlier in the episode, that since Wanda is who turned this on, the key to turning it on, she's the person who's also going to be the key to turning it off. And the only way to figure out how to do that is to figure out why she's doing it. What is the reasoning? What is she hoping to get out of it? Is there an ending point to this? And as Monica also brought out, she felt what Wanda was feeling, and she knows that wherever this is coming from is not a place of complete malevolence, the way that the guy who's running it all, he's acting as though this is all just Wanda, doing this out of some form of terror, I guess, trying to hurt people. Let's kind of bring it back to the beginning of the episode with Pietro and his interactions with Wanda. And actually, one more step before that. Now that the twins are the ones narrating, we've never had any type of narration in this show before. It's just happened, right? We've just watched as Wanda and Vision navigated this fake world. Now the kids are here, they're older, and as of this episode, they're talking to the camera. They're talking, breaking the fourth wall and speaking about the situation that neither Wanda or Vision are talking about. One, which is that interaction between Wanda and Vision in the beginning, where it's clear that Vision is not on board, right? He's not okay with the situation. He let Wanda know that last episode. But he also knows he's not in control of this illusion. And also, I would venture to say that I think there's two things going on with him as far as why he did what he did in this episode. One was that, like I said, he's not in control of the illusion. He can't control Wanda's powers as such. So if she wants to keep doing things, she's going to keep doing it. So I think there's a little bit of that, him surrendering to that. But I also think that he doesn't want to believe, like we saw in last episode, he doesn't want to believe that Wanda is doing this on purpose. He really is trying to figure out why she's doing it or what's going on so he can justify why she would be doing this. And I think he's also scared that if he pushes her too much, that the people are going to suffer the consequences. So when we saw that whole first scene, I loved it. I love things like that where you see the layered stuff going on. So like you saw Paul Bettany talking to her and he's like, oh, I'm gonna, have fun tonight. And she's like, you're not supposed to go out, right? Which again, we're going back into the couple of episodes ago when Agnes was saying, oh, do you want me to start the whole scene again? Do you want me to start over? Right? Like there were actors reading lines instead of people interacting with each other. And we heard her say that to Vision, like, you're supposed to come trick-or-treating with us. And Vision's like, oh, well, I'm going to go do the neighborhood watch thing. And then he just basically kind of looked at her and he was like, be good, right? And like the way he said it, all of the nuance was out of his voice. Like he very much was looking straight at her and was like, don't do anything harmful. You know what I mean? Like don't mess up anymore. Or when she said, oh, thanks for wearing the costume. And he's like, it was the only thing in my closet, right? All those little moments are him letting her know that, like, I'm not in your illusion. I'm not playing along with you anymore. But I also know that if I don't play along, I'm going to antagonize you, and that's not going to get us anywhere. I love that in the beginning. But yeah, seeing the twins talk about how the parents are no longer in sync, and then them also picking up on the fact that their mother and their uncle, that there's something going on there that doesn't feel right. Going into Wanda and Pietro, we had more of Pietro got to be the person who asked all the question that we as audience have been asking, I think, since we figured a little bit more of what's going on here. And I like that. I like it a lot because now that her and Vision are no longer on the same page, Vision's not going to be our window into it. And the main reason for that, and it makes sense, is because Vision is clearly judging Wanda for what she's doing. Rightfully so. I mean, she is hurting people. But now Peter was like this, he's just this neutral kind of party that she's supposed to be able to trust, that he can just ask those questions without judgment to try to figure out more of why this is happening, like how it started, right? What triggered this? How did it pop off? Why is she doing it? But at the same time, I love that on the other side, we had Wanda asking questions too, because she knows this is not the Pietro that she grew up with. But there's got to be something that she feels on some level of connection with this version of him that is resonating with her. And I do have questions, like maybe once I'm editing this and I have time to really marinate on it, I'll understand why she saw that flash of a dead Pietro, even though that wasn't the Pietro that got shot. And the Pietro from the other Fox universe is still very much alive. So I'm curious as to why that moment happened. Outside of that, I like that she's challenging like why he's there and how it's possible, because she knows, if all else beyond the different face, she knows that Pietro is dead. So how is he here? She's trying to figure out what's going on within it as well, which is such an interesting. That's why I'm saying this show is so layered and very interesting, because everyone's kind of doing their own little investigation this episode. We got Viz looking to figure out how far this world goes, the extent of what's going on. We've got Pietro trying to dig into why this is happening and how it's happening and how Wanda's keeping it going. And then Wanda trying to figure out how Pietro's there. So it was a lot of cyclical investigation going on, which was really good for us as an audience to get more information or get more questions, more likely. And that we finally got that Wanda doesn't remember how this whole thing started. She just remembered she was at her lowest point. She doesn't know how it started. So that's kind of lending itself to the theory that almost everyone has, that somebody else is involved with this. Somebody else is somehow using Wanda in some way and her abilities to do this and channeling into this deep sadness and loneliness that she was feeling to keep her motivated, to keep fueling this crazy illusion. So that's what makes me think that whoever Pietro is, or whoever is speaking or using him, like obviously they're outside the Matrix somewhat too, because the fact that he also referred to, scenes and doing what he's supposed to and acting outside of what was dictated. Like, again, it kind of shows Wanda that she's either losing control or that there are people who are being manipulated outside of her control. And I think she's still trying to figure out how that's all working as well. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. There's so much that goes on in these episodes. Like, there's so much happening right now. But obviously, in the end, I think that Wanda recognizes that this is not her brother. Like, as much as she wants it to be, she knows it's not. And especially at the end when Vision had his crises, which she oddly wasn't tuned into. And then he says, it's not like you can kill your dead husband twice. And she just lost it and like threw him, like, and just shot him away. Like, that's when I was kind of like, and you saw the kids react to it. Like, that was her final rejection of whatever this thing is that is posing as her brother. So all of that. Then we get into Vision. I want to touch on that because that's kind of huge, with him finally going on his little patrol, which was not a complete lie. But he really just wants to see what's going on. Like, he's never really looked outside of their little neighborhood within Westview to see what's happening. And he finally goes and starts to get to the outskirts, the further away from Wanda. And he notices that, unfortunately, there are boundaries to her powers. And we're seeing it. The people who are on the edge of the Matrix, if you will. We saw that poor woman who's stuck in a loop trying to hang these Halloween decorations. So it's like Wanda's powers they're strong enough to keep them from doing their own thing. But it looks like at a certain point, her capacity hits a wall and she can't, like, make sure that they're able to fully, like, she can't notice if somebody is stuck, right? Like that poor woman who's trying to hang this damn decoration, and then the guy in the background kept lifting the pumpkin and putting it down, and we see that sad, like, just guilt-inducing tear come down her face because this woman is probably in excruciating pain because she's still physically there, physically doing the same repeated motion for God knows how long. It could be the whole day, it could have been days. This could be going on. Like, she's stuck. She can't use the bathroom. She can't do anything. So it's just a twisted situation, and I love that the show keeps reminding us now, especially since Vision broke his coworker out of the trance there at the office. I'm glad they keep reminding us that these people are being puppeted and that they are suffering, and that this is still all happening while Wanda's living her fantasy, and this is why Vision is so determined to figure out how to stop it. And then we saw the whole interaction with Agnes, and I think a lot of us were suspecting that Agnes was in on it, and maybe she is because she's a cast member now. We also saw that she was trying to leave Westview. And she got to the edge, and it was, like I said, whatever Wanda's got is just strong enough to keep her from being able to act on it. But once Vision broke her out and had that conversation, we found out that Vision has no memory of himself being part of the Avengers. He has no memory, it looks like, outside of Wanda. We saw that he finally found the boundary and that he went through. And what I predicted is of him trying to leave the Matrix was that he would fall apart, because we saw couple episodes ago that when Wanda stole Vision's body, not stole it, I guess you could say she reclaimed it, but when she took it, it was in pieces, and now he's together. So yeah, her magic is literally keeping him together, and without it, he just won't exist again. So outside the Hex, we had, of course, Monica yelling rightfully at the head of S.W.O.R.D. for sneakily putting a weapon in there and trying to hurt Wanda, which obviously broke any type of trust that they were trying to build with her. But his response to it, right? We've seen a completely different version of this man from, like, the first episode, the first time we see Wanda, when he's all like, Monica, where he's like, oh, you know, your mother would have wanted this, and he was being very sentimental and nice to her, and now he's like, you're an impediment, you and your little, you know, gallery of friends need to get out of here, you're in my way. We're talking like light switch. He is suddenly very cold, condescending, he wants to cut her out. So some of the theories people have about who this man might be are starting to make much more sense, because he clearly wanted Wanda and Wu, and I keep calling her Kat because that's her real name, but I keep forgetting her character's name. But he wants anybody who's questioning him or asking real questions out of the way. So now those three are their own little renegade team. I'm loving it, actually. I kind of love their little subunit. Where's the spinoff? I'd love to watch them just do stuff in the future. And we also got confirmation, I mentioned, about Monica's scans and her blood work, and she's changing. She's mutating as we speak, going through the energy barrier, being in the presence of Wanda's magic apparently is changing her, and she's yeah, we know as an audience, at least we're comic book fans, we know what this means, that Monica, this is what's going to start Monica on her mutant journey, on her superhero journey eventually. But I'm just curious if that's just because of Monica's experience of going through the barrier, or if everybody's exposed to the magic, that the transformative magic that's being used inside of this Westview is going to be affected when this is all over, because that would be kind of interesting too. And then, of course, we got to come to the huge conclusion where when we see that the twins, Tommy and Billy, are developing abilities now. One of them is a speedster like Quicksilver. The other one seems to be more like Wanda, because he was able to sense that Vision was dying and told his mother about it. And the way that Wanda responded was boss, let's be real. She literally expanded Westview because she knew that she may not get to Vision in time. So instead, she just made Westview bigger. And she had to pause. You notice she couldn't do both at the same time. She couldn't have Westview working as it was and push the boundary. She paused everything, Professor X style, and pushed the boundary out. We don't know how far yet, but it looks like it was probably another few city blocks. I think Wanda is really pushing the limits of her abilities right now, and a lot's going on, and her kids are outside of her control as well, so a lot is happening. And so I feel like in these next 2 episodes, we're going to start to see the breakdown of Wanda and her ability to keep this up. Because as I mentioned before, she's got to be hitting a physical capacity now. The boundaries are bigger. We're already seeing the frayed edges of her abilities. Plus, she had to pause everybody in order to do the boundary shift. So too much is going on for her to keep control of all of it. Oh, I could go on and on. The show literally gives so much fodder for the imagination, and I feel like I ramble for so long after every episode, but there's just so much to take in, and that is definitely the sign of a very, very good show and amazing writing. Guys, theories, questions, things that, I might have missed or I don't know, please go ahead, put those in the comments, guys. I'm loving the participation that you guys have been giving me. Let's talk about it some more. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, all my rambling, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya!